Welcome to EHH British Cars. I color sanded the front nose panel the other day. That's the one where the headlights stick up out of it, which you have to have off the car when you do engine work and stuff like that. So obviously it's been off the car for a long time and I'm getting ready to bolt it back on. So we need to do the electrical work to get it ready to go on. So that would be the headlights and the running light turn signals on the front. And of course they all need to be, gone over, cleaned up, uh, and have work on them done as necessary. So let's go take a look at it. Well, these are the two headlight buckets, and as you see, I've already cleaned them up. They're actually pretty solid. They both had a little bit of surface rust on them, and one of them, this flange is really kind of bent when you looked at these. These are the black brass inserts for the headlight adjusters. They were leaning out because this edge was bent up, and where it came through this notch, it almost had like a step in it. So little dolly work, wasn't too bad. The other one was okay, but holding the form, rust and dent, though one did not have dent. So I cleaned them up. This thing, I mean, they literally had so much dirt you couldn't see that they were black on the insides. But that was just a scrub brush and some warm water, a little bit of soap, and then a little bit of black epoxy paint. I took the adjusters apart. They came apart fairly easily. One was a little sticky, but it was, this is the threaded end was about flush here. I just rolled it out a bit and then wire brushed it and it came right out. So no problems there. And I pulled the wire out and I think I've been able to save the rubber plugs that go here. I've got them soaking in some Armor All just to try to put some moisture back into them, because that seems to be their biggest fault, is that they feel dry. These are the gaskets, the rubber seals that came off. So you can see they're dry and well perished, but they're in relatively good shape. But I got new ones, so we'll put them in. And the dust shields, which go on top of the headlight retaining ring and under the chrome, the beauty chrome on the outside, were missing, as always. So we'll replace those. This is the connector that goes onto the headlight. This was placed onto the end of the original wires. I think they're just wrapped together and they got some friction tape on them. Here are the original wires. You can still see this one used to be the blue and red. I think that one should have been blue and white, and then the black ground. So these are old and pretty messed up. So I scavenged some wire out of an old wiring harness. It's all the right color. This is part of the wire harness that was under the dash of some car. So this wire is all in good shape. So I'm going to make new leads out of these. There's the blue and white. There's a blue and red in here somewhere right there, blue and red. And there's actually a ground too, but we may just put new grounds in. Here are the replacement ends. These are Dorman product, part number 84790, high temp headlight socket. These just, I think I got them from Amazon. I'm not sure. I bought them a long time ago, but they are pretty nice. The one really good thing is they're very low profile, which is what you need for these kind of lights. If you have the ones that are just straight and the wires stick out the back, they run into the back of the headlight buckets before they're in all the way. So we will splice the replacement wires on. I'll probably put them together and solder them, and of course put some heat shrink on them and make it look nice. I just need to figure out, we'll measure these up to get the length of the new one. So the running light, flashing light, or turn indicator lights were missing on this car completely. So I actually had some bits and pieces, but what I came to realize was these are different than other cars in that they have a flat lens. They still have a chrome surround, but so you see the bulb is recessed into the fixture. So that means that these rear boots are also longer. The other ones are like 2 3/4 or something, and these are 3 and something. So I just bought a new set of lights. I actually have a set of the glass covers here, but I went ahead, the light sockets and the rubbers were on back order, but you could buy a complete assembly for a little bit more, so I did. Here's a comparison. You can see how the TR2 cover is significantly longer. And here's the normal style of gas bulb. If you ever watched Doctor Who, these are what are on top of the Daleks, only they're usually white. And they have a similar chrome ring, but slightly different. And here's one of the sockets, but as you can see, that bulb just projects straight out. So if you try to put one of these with one of those, that glass would fall somewhere here about halfway through the circular section of the bulb. First thing I'm going to do is see if I can't make up the harnesses for the headlights. So this is a reproduction tripod headlight, and it's got a halogen bulb in it, which I think are the standard halogens, or those 101s or something. They seem to be in all the halogen aftermarket bulbs. So this is with the three tabs facing 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 3 o'clock. Ground, low beam, high beam, or main beam and dip beam. But if you think of it as ground, low, and high, it's GLH, go like hell. Easy to remember. So the wiring in the replacement end piece, so here it is in the orientation of being the bulb. So here's black for ground. The low beam is blue, and the main beam is red. So blue and white will be the, that the main filament is blue with white. So the blue with red will be on the blue wire, and the blue with white will be on the red wire, which, it'd be nice if it didn't do it. These wire spades, if you look really closely, there's a square cut out right there. And if you run a really fine piece of metal down there, I actually have a little key set for it, it'll release that clip, so I can shuffle those two around, and that'll be nice. That red will go with blue and red, and blue will go with blue and white. So I think I'm going to do that, and then solder these together. So here's that tool. This is something I got from Amazon a while ago, not very expensive. So I've got one of them out already, as you can see. You just take this is the side that faces the headlight. You just put it in there, push it down firmly, and out it comes. And you want to make sure, usually doing that presses that tab in a little bit. There's a tab right there, so you want to get underneath it and just pry it up a little bit. Make sure it's going to have nice and tight. Don't move it too far, because you'll just tear it off. I'm going to put the blue wire there. Push that in. And then I'll push that one in. And you'll hear it click in. There we go. Then we'll have to readjust the lengths of the wires here. It's easy enough to do. So here's the wiring diagram. It says main filament, that's high beam, and that's wire number 4, blue with white. So in the top, we know that the one G, L, H, ground, high beam is blue, which will connect to the blue and white wire on the main harness, and red will go to the blue and red wire. So it's not a perfect match, but at least it makes some kind of semblance, and it's just a matter of shuffling those wires over, which is pretty easy. Well, there we go, all made up. So I staggered these 3 joints so they wouldn't line up with each other. One's there, one's there, one's here. And the pieces on there. And I think what I'm probably going to do now, this little piece of flux came with the connector. I think I'll take some electrical tape and just bind these together just to make it look nice. So, correction, you need to feed the wires into here because this will not feed through that hole. So you need to feed it through before you put the rubber piece on. Unfortunately, My black wire is just straight wire, no end on it yet, 'cause I haven't decided what end I'm going to use. I'm going to have to ground it on the body somewhere, and I don't know what size loop. And with the one wire out, the other bullet connectors will pull through one at a time. So that goes in there. Should really do this before you solder it. And then this is going to go through this way. Is that? No, it goes through small end first. This is going to go small end first. And if you want, you could put a little grease or white grease or something on there to help them push through. As you can see, they will go. There's the 3 wires through. I'll just draw it back down. And there it is in the bucket. I still need to tape that, but I'll do that in a couple of minutes. And there's the plug in place. And I'll have to see, I think I might have some extra caps for these brass pieces. You see that one's still a little crooked, but that's because it's bent in the plate, not that the plate's bent. This in the wiring harness. There's a pair of butt connectors for the positive wires, and the black wire we'll just ground it to the body, but we'll do it up in the engine compartment, not on the sheet metal. I'm not the one who took these apart, so I'm not sure what was here. This is what is sold as the nut that's supposed to secure those headlight buckets, and they should go to these 3 square holes. The round holes are the clearance for the lens adjustment screws, and these are not going to fit in here, not even remotely close. I suppose you could file them out. I think what I'm going to do, because you can get to the back of them pretty easy, I'm going to do is just put them in backwards, and they should be fine. Anyway, so I'm just going to take a damp cloth, clean off these buffing compound off the rings, and then we'll get it together. So this is the new headlight gasket. There's this notch depression in the bottom right there. That goes down at about the 530 position. You can see the 3 big holes for the adjusters go up. This is a little bit of extra clearance for where that the clip that carries the screw that holds the chrome ring on is mounted. So let's get the headlight bucket. Also, this 2-piece mount, there's this heavier galvanized piece and a thinner stainless steel piece. Has 3 small screws right there, about at 180 degrees to each other, and they sandwich the headlight in between. And the other thing you want to watch is that these notches, there's 3 notches, they are not at 120 degrees to each other. They're slightly wider on the lower gaps. So there's one dead center at the bottom. These 2 are closer together, and then a further direction there, and that's so that these lights are made with a glass, I think they call this Fresnel glass, that in the USA it points the headlights to the right, and this has got the special stuff for when the low beam's on, it pushes it further to the right and down. So if you ever had an English car with left-hand drive, it will look similar, but this will be a mirror image. Anyway, so feed the wires through the hole. And then we'll have to feed the adjusters through the big holes in the rubber and through the holes in the headlight buckets, or the headlight surround. Off the camera, this thing just almost fell through here. So now it doesn't want to go because I got the camera running. There we go. That's the 3 of them down. And then I'm going to mount these screws this way because they won't fit through the clip holes like that. And I did add a serrated washer, which I'm going to put on the headlight side out of the way. This goes through. The hole for this one's dead center at the bottom. This one I can reach quite easily with my fingers. And these other two are a bit higher up. It's hard to reach them with your fingertips just because of the length of the narrow passage there coming past the bug eye, so to speak. So I'm just going to put that on top of a magnet and then bring it up through the bottom. I can see the threaded hole to get that lined up. We're going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to just try to make sure that that wire on that pigtail just sort of coils into the bottom, it's not pinched. Put the headlights on. You just got to put the big end of the screw at the larger end. It's like an old-fashioned keyhole. Push it down and just turn it that little bit, and that's it. It's in. And the other thing that goes on is the dust seal. And that notch is going to go where that screw goes in the bottom. And that hole is going to go there. And that clip in the top, I'm going to make sure that's there. They do sell a replacement one of those, but I don't know where you'd find a rivet like that. But if you just kind of build a driver, I suppose you could always just use a stainless steel screw. That's going to go underneath the lip of the steel ring that's holding the headlight together. And make sure we get the bottom hole lined up. And hopefully we'll start this screw. And there it is. So I put a serrated washer on that one too. And it's just a flat washer, but when we draw it down, it'll make it conical. And there we go. And there it is. Headlights installed, running turn signals installed. Next time we'll do the, because this is actually an early TR3 nose, it's got a piece of chrome that goes here. We'll do that. We'll go back there and see if we can't get it mounted on the car. Oh, I need to put that badge on too, the TR2 badge. So hope you enjoyed all that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and join, and we'll see you next time.